in Lakota Star knowledge, there's a really old story. It involves two leaders of the people. One was young and one was old. The younger one tried to overthrow the older one. Yeah, the young man tried to overthrow the old man, but it didn't work. And the young man continued to send unhealthy energies towards the old man. The old man always responded with patience. He didn't say anything, and sometimes he would say something, but he never gave in. Yeah. So what this is symbolizing, what this is showing you, I mean, is that every time the young man sent, unhealthy energy to the old man, it returned to him 4 times as strong. So the old man was patient. He didn't respond sometimes, and sometimes he did not respond angry. He responded in compassion. So what the old man was sending out was healthy energy to try to influence that young man. And nevertheless, that healthy energy came back 4 times as strong to bless the old man. But he still wanted to help the young man, but through compassion. In time, the young man got into a very serious situation, with him and his followers, and they almost became extinct. And this experience really humbled him. And so he changed. He had a change of mind and a change of heart. And he apologized to the old man. He said he realized that the old man was right. And he just wanted to help him. So he changed from that point. Yeah? And he became a great leader of the people, of our ancestors. This is a time when we were called Ikje, Oyate, not Lakota. We were human beings. Ikje Oyate, human nation, common people. Doesn't have anything to do with being Indian. Yeah, because it has to do with communicating from your sacred center. So, because of that experience, that humbling experience, he became a great leader, and a lot of people named their sons, their firstborn sons, after him. His name is Togahe. So some people say Togahe, Togahea. Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the first one. That's what that means. So if the old man responded in the same way, in the beginning of this confrontation, in the beginning of this difficulty between the two, if the old man had responded the same way the young man did, both of them probably would have been destroyed. They would have destroyed each other. There would be this hatred just because of something on the surface. Yeah, the old man always was patient with the young man. And because of that, that brought the opportunity for a healthy change closer for the young man. If the old man had responded with unhealthy energy too, that opportunity for the young man to change might have never come. And the old man would be changing for the worse too. That's why I said everybody would have been destroyed. That's what this story teaches. I'm really telling the fast version, yeah? The story is actually much longer than that, excuse me. And these are, yeah, it's a really long story. I don't have time for that, but I'm just telling you the main foundation, the framework of the story. Yeah? That when somebody responds to you unhealthy or communicates to you in an unhealthy way, you do have to do what you have to do to protect yourself, but at the same time, you really watch that person and see what they're about, because this young man was communicating purely from emotion. Yeah, And so the old man knew that. He saw that. He saw that he wasn't speaking clearly. So he prayed for him. He tried to help him in a compassionate way without giving in to him. And the young man left with his people. Yeah, they left to live someplace else, and it turned out they thought they knew what they were doing. Excuse me, and they ended up almost becoming extinct. So the old man went to go save them. The old man and his people went to go. They found them and they saved them. They fed them. They nurtured them back, and they were hugging them. They were so good to see they were so happy to see their relatives again. And the young man was like, just his heart just broke. Yeah, he was just his heart broke because he realized he made a mistake. But see, he knows that he has to learn from it. So he does. And because of learning this and learning about forgiveness, yeah, that he accepted what he did, he came to terms with what he did, and he vowed to make the best of his situation. And as a result of that, he became one of the greatest leaders, yeah, of the human nation. He was the first human man. I'll give you a hint. Yeah, he was the first human man. It's not Adam. His name is Tokahe. Yeah, excuse me. And so as a result, he became a great leader, and he wanted the people to be healthy too. So he lived by example. He walked the talk. Yeah, he practiced what he preached. So that's how he came to terms with it. He made peace with it. Yeah, he made peace, and then he was able to, learn from these difficulties. He's teaching us. Yeah, this is the example we're supposed to follow. Yeah, so as parents, some of us know this already. Yeah, and so this is wawokie, natural law of generosity. So today, when you go on just about any Native American forum or Facebook group page, you see the total opposite. People, what they want to do is provoke controversy. They want to get people to argue. They want to get people, and they say this leads to better understanding. They say this leads to making people think. I don't think so. When you provoke, when you provoke somebody, that's an unhealthy communication. And that's going to come back to you and kick you in the ass. Yeah, so that's what some of these other native radio blog talk shows do. Yeah, they're trying to they want to be the Indian Howard Stern, the Indian who are these other guys? I don't even know all their names, but they think that when you provoke others, that this makes you it's a macho thing. This is not the way of a man. This is the way of a gangster. And gangsters are cowards. This is what Iktomi does. Unfortunately, this is the time of the season that you're not supposed to tell Iktomi stories. But Iktomi does this. There's a lot of stories where Iktomi provokes you. He's a trickster in our stories. He represents everything that we're not supposed to be. The Iktomi stories are supposed to teach you the thought process that leads him to do these certain things. That's the unhealthy way. That's not the road to life. Yeah? That's the purpose of those stories. So to provoke controversy, this is, it's people do this to make themselves popular. And making, when somebody wants to be popular, what that's saying is they want to elevate themselves above others. They want to be stars. They want to be admired. They want to be, worshipped. That's duality. That's separating yourself from others, thinking you're better than others. That is duality. People who poke controversy, this is what they do. This is not going to lead you to the road to life. Yeah? That's going to bring more darkness, more closed-mindedness. It's going to lock up your vision, because what you're really saying, when you provoke controversy, what you're really saying is that your way of thinking is the only way. You're saying that your culture is the best culture. You're saying that, if you know what's right for everybody, and that your skin color is the best. That's all duality. That's racism, that's ethnocentrism, that's paternalism, that's dogma. These are all unhealthy ways to communicate. These do not lead to life. All these situations only present you with two opportunities, with two perspectives, with two possibilities. And that's really disrespectful when you do that to somebody. Because Lakota Star Knowledge says, and natural law teaches, there are at least three perspectives to everything. And it's not about which one is bad or which one is good. It's about, what can I learn from this? Is this a blessing? Is this peace? See what I mean? There's no labeling of us against them. It's about learning and living so you can love. Yeah? It's about being in tune with yourself by, living these things that I've taught you in this show, so that you're at peace within yourself and you communicate as a human and not as an Indian, not as a German, not as a Japanese, but as a human. Yeah? As a human man, a human woman, or in case of you feminists, you woman. Hey. Actually, the word man's and the word woman too, and I didn't even see. I'm not a feminist. So I don't pay attention to these kind of things. Female. Oh, the word male's in there. Ah, geez, what do feminists want to be called anyway? I have to Google that. Feminists and machos are the same thing. Yeah, they're both in the same canoe, and they have their backs against each other, and they're both rowing forward, and they're not getting anywhere. Yeah, they're just going in circles, creating a whirlpool. Oh, shucks. Anyway, but yeah, see, what I'm saying is that when you live these Lakota Star Knowledge concepts, you understand that provoking controversy, this is like, it's going to come back to you. How you communicate reflects what's going on inside of you, and all that energy you send out is going to return to you 4 times as strong. If it's healthy, you have nothing to worry about. But if you're provoking controversy, you have everything to worry about, because that's going to come back to you. Yeah? provoking controversy, that doesn't cause people to think. It hurts people. Yeah? And it angers people. It makes people scared. And if people are not emotionally developed, that's the way they're going to stay. So you have hell to pay when you do things like this to others. You're taking advantage of them. You're oppressing them. Provoking controversy is oppression. You are an oppressor. See? This is Iknomi style communication to try to trick people into thinking that you're actually doing something good. What's the goal of provocation? Some people who use it, they say to make you think, to challenge you. I think not, because the first emotion that people feel is either going to be anger or a sadness or fear, and most people in this world are not emotionally developed, and their response may be based only on that emotion, and that might not produce the desired effect. So I think you can challenge the way a person thinks, but not through provocation. Yeah, I think there's other ways of doing that are more like, what do you think about this? What if it was like this? What do you think? But to come out and and provoke somebody, and doing it into a controversial way, this is unhealthy communication. It just is. Yeah, it's not my opinion. It just is. This is based on Lakota Star knowledge and the things that I've said so far on this show. So the reason why I was bringing this up is because a lot of you probably are aware of, especially in America, a lot of you are aware of this athlete guy that there's a security video of him dragging his unconscious girlfriend out of the elevator. And I don't mean to laugh at the situation, but it's nobody knows what really happened. But the way they came out of the elevator, it doesn't look like she passed out from being too drunk or she has a health problem or something. Because if it was something like a health problem, he would have been saying, help, 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 I need help, call 911. And instead he's just moving her around, trying to get her feet out of the elevator doors. And this, I think what was he, a professional football player or something, American football, I have to say. And he only got a 2-game suspension. And meanwhile, in the recent past, there was another football player who got caught for marijuana smoking or something like that, and he got suspended 20 games or something like that. And this, or was it 8 games? Nevertheless, it was, and he had to pay a hell of a lot of money, a big fine. Yeah. So what this is saying is, it's okay to beat the shit out of your girlfriend, but it's not okay to smoke marijuana. What kind of justice is that? Yeah. And this is showing you this is a male-oriented, male-dominated business that is going to always benefit the men. And then ESPN, one of their reporters was having a discussion, and they were talking about, this one guy was saying something about, this is really, this was not right, this was horrible, but he said at the same time, we have to learn about, provocation, we have to learn that when, that when you provoke somebody that you're going to get hit back, because he's saying that, He's implying that the woman hit him first, that the woman hit the athlete first, and this justifies the athlete to hit back. This is stupid. I'm really holding back my cuss words, yeah? What do you mean? If you hit somebody, you're going to get hit back. To say that we have to learn that, that's that's accepting that that behavior is okay, and it is not. That's why I was telling the story earlier with these two. And it's a really old Lakota Star Knowledge story of these two leaders of the people, where one was an old man, and the other one was a young one, and he was trying to, overthrow the old man and take control over all the people. And when it didn't work, he attacked. Yeah, the young man and his warriors attacked the old man and their warriors, but they didn't win. Yeah, the young people didn't win, so then they backed down. Yeah, the old guy always responded with compassion. So, hitting, if you strike the first hit, and it doesn't matter if you're in the wrong or the right. If you strike first, you've already committed a crime. But he could have, to say that, okay, you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. This is not going to work, because as I said earlier, that's just sending out really unhealthy energy back and forth, or some people would say bad medicine. Yeah, it's really, and every time a person does that, see, that's going to return to the person who sent it 4 times as strong. So if you have two people constantly, shitting on each other, you're going to end up with a humongous 2 piles of shit. Yeah, and that's not going to do anybody any good. Really, yeah. And it's just going to make the matters worse. They're just going to shit each other to death, I guess. Yeah. And so to say, that hey, we gotta, if we gotta people have to understand that when you throw a hit, that you're going to get hit back. This is another way of saying it's okay when somebody hits you to hit them back. That is not a healthy communication whatsoever. And truthfully, I think the reporter that said that, I think he knows that. He's not dumb. He wanted to provoke controversy to elevate his career, and to get himself banned from appearing from that network for 1 week is only helping him in his gaining his notoriety. Yeah. So this is and for what purpose? Yeah. So he becomes more of a household name. That means more money. Yeah, because if ESPN doesn't want him, somebody else might. They might pay him better. So it's making himself, it's all selfish. People do these things for selfish reasons, and it's never okay to hit. Yeah, it never is. When unless you're stopping a crime, that might be a different situation. Yeah, when you see something happens, you get in there and you say, hey, knock it off. Back the person up, or get another person to help you out and separate the two and call the cops. But to initiate, even if the woman hit him first, apparently they were in a casino and they were gambling, and she was upset about something, according to the guy, and so she hit him. Then he turned around and belted her and knocked her out, and saying that, well, she hit me first. And this is a typical oppressor way of communicating, because you never know. The story might even go before that. Maybe he provoked her to hit. Do you see what I mean? It always can go back a little bit further. The bottom line is, to provoke is unhealthy. Yeah, it is going to result in trouble. This is not the way to initiate understanding. It's not even, yeah, because you cannot guarantee that the other person is going to go, oh yeah, isn't it? Yeah, because this is a dualistic world we live in, my friends. Yeah, and usually people are going to hit back regardless, and That is not always a smart thing to do. In most cases, it isn't. So to provoke is a communication. It is a communication, and that is an unhealthy one, and it will come back. Yeah, it will come back 4 times as strong. So I know there's shows that do that, especially on Blog Talk. There's people that do that. This is not the way of our ancestors. There is the only time you see stories where in Lakota Star Knowledge, the only time you see stories where somebody provokes somebody, that somebody ended up in trouble. That's teaching you. So the fact that Indians do this, and because I know of several shows that do this, where they do provoke controversy, and they're thinking, yeah, we're Indians, we can, we're blah, 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 blah. That's not the way of the ancestors. They didn't say, yeah, we're Indians. They didn't say that. They didn't say they were Lakota. In the Lakota Star Knowledge stories, it says they call themselves Ikje. Ikje Wichasha. Ikje Wiya. This is a common person. It's not, doesn't have anything to do with skin color. Yeah? So, this show is based on Lakota Star Knowledge, and I've gave you some information concerning that throughout the show. And I tell you something, it doesn't say anything good about people who provoke. What it tells you is that people who do provoke end up in trouble. They end up in a very rugged situation. So if you answer a provocation with violence, it makes it bad for everybody involved. There is no justice in that. There is no enlightenment in that. Yeah, it's just two butts talking to each other. Yeah. So if you're gonna do that, then make sure you eat a lot of beans. So you have a lot of ammunition. Shoot. Oh my. Anyway, I gotta head out now. Thank you very kindly for taking time and tuning in and listening to this show. I really appreciate it. And like I said, everything I talk about on this show is based on some old story or something like that that's really, really old, that doesn't have dualistic elements to it. It doesn't have good versus evil or us against them. Right? It's all about what can we learn from this? Is this a blessing we can enjoy? And how can I find peace in this? And how do I nurture the peace that I already have? That's what this show is about. This is the way of the ancestors. The way of the ancestors is about peace and living with nature. Yeah? Just think, if, to provoke somebody, that would be like going out to say to a tree, hey, God damn it, can't see the sun. And then start beating up the tree. You're provoking the tree. Who does that? Iktomi. Shoot. So for all you guys out there that provoke, pay attention to that. Yeah, that's the Iktomi way. And if you see this show, I mean, if you see people do that, mostly it's guys that are doing that. But today, there's a lot of women do this too, and this is not a good sign. Yeah, when women are doing a lot of provoking, this is not a good sign. Yeah, and I'll let you think about that one. And for all of those of you who follow the ways of peace, keep on keeping on. You have a lot of people with you. You have a lot of people thinking about you. We all pray for one another. We all support one another through visualization, meditation, and actual doing things together.